And this was the easiest way forward for us. We've spent an hour and 20 minutes on it so far on two motions. Okay, 3.1. On the floor. So being on the screen, Mr. Hinton, means that you missed out on lunch.
No problem at all. I'm sure that lunch didn't go to waste.
Okay, so we're at 3.1, Thames Community Board CAPEX Work Programming 2023-24 and other operational information update. You'll have a chance to go through it. So, in our usual practice, we can scoot down the page. And if you've got any comments or questions of Mr. Hinson, you can ask online. So, library reports, parks and open spaces renewals, swimming disability hoist, which kind I found strange that we're spending $40,000 on an asset which is going to go in 2027.
It's a transferable asset, can be moved to new form.
Oh, can it?
Oh yeah, we checked.
I knew you'd have an answer.
We checked.
I knew you'd have an answer. Forest Park. Do you wish to make any comment? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you just raised about the library. Is it
Yeah.
appropriate just to ask of Mr. Hinson a question about the library and whether those, because they were talking about the counters, pedestrian counters going there, so that we had a better idea of use of the library for everything rather than just what was being taken out. Am I putting you on the spot there, Bruce?
No, that's fine. What was the question? It was about the library counters. What was the actual question? Sorry.
Are those counters going to be included in future performance, non-financial performance reports? Thank you.
Yep, through the chair. Yes, that was the intention, and then we're well set up, ready for the non-financial performance measures for the long-term plan, to be using those counters as a better measure of usability of the library and how well we're doing with our patrons.
Thank you.
Right. Forest Park. Any comments about Forest Park?
I would add to that at the steering group meeting the other day that at the request of the community board for the park not to be closed over Christmas, the start date has been deferred until the new year.
Just through the chair, was that in relation, Peter, to difficulties about fencing part of it off and having part available?
No, so it was related to the fact that we weren't confident it would be completed by Christmas, and so therefore because the park needs to be open over the Christmas period, to defer the actual start date for the digger to come in till the 7th of February, I think it was.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, going down. Anybody got anything else about Forest Park? Fine with that. I think we do for a report on Forest Park. So, street furniture, footpath rehabilitation, street light renewals. Central Valley. Got to ask the next one, Mr. Hinson.
Yes.
When are we likely to see the irrigation system? And I would say this not jokingly, but up and running.
Yeah. Yep. So they're doing. Yep. So they're doing some testing today, I believe, with a generator with the irrigation system to make sure that it is working and functioning as it's intended. So yeah, so we're comfortable that we've got that in hand. There's a way to make sure that we don't trip any power running that during low load times, electricity wise, and then moving forwards when we do more expansion of services at the airfield, then installation of transformers and those kind of things will deal with that issue permanently, so that the irrigation can be run at any time of the day. But it's not actually an issue because we don't want to run it during the day when the load is high. We actually want to run it during the during night or early in the morning.
Okay. And that amount of money that's there, that's not storage just for the irrigation setup and startup, is it?
There's a few little other amounts in there, but there's not a lot outside of the irrigation. I don't believe this year. Couple of small things that I remember they were doing, but yeah, it's not a huge program this year. Obviously, everything was pulled back as part of the annual plan, so it's fairly modest.
Excellent. The page. Voluntary, I've never seen this spelled two ways.
I think you're right.
Voluntary coastal protection, seawall, anybody got any comment?
Through the chair, that the 22,483, presumably was that just scoping type work? That's not actually any living on the ground or?
Yeah, I think there might have been some work around the like looking at the timber at the top of the wall, but it was predominantly around, you know, getting things ready to move forwards with that. So obviously it'll cost a lot more than that to do any kind of serious work. But there was a few little things that could be picked up as part of that. So it was a bit of a combination of a few small actions and also just future work on the future option moving forwards, which obviously we're still working through with the community and community meetings and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's ongoing.
We'll talk about Coco. It's got a separate report. Coach Valley Road, service extension, that's sustained. Thames treatment plant upgrade. Feed aerators are due for delivery in October, being this month. Is that on?
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
That'll make it interesting for low flying aircraft coming in. Thames out of the street stormwater improvements. I understand you bought the pump, or you have the pump.
Yes, correct. The pump was purchased last financial year. The pump's available and has been deployed a couple of times. This is for obviously moving forwards on any of the upgrades that we need to do in that area to start looking at some more longer term options.
Excellent, excellent. Thames South water treatment plant, Uri.
Yes, everything moving ahead on that one around land. So yeah, obviously those things take quite a while to get resolved, but moving forwards with a couple of options there.
All right.
So just through the chair on that one, is that likely to be affected by the recent request / order from the water regulator to treat the water out there?
Yeah, so it's in line. It is in line with that request. So obviously the request is, what are you doing? And our answer to that is, well, we're moving forwards, as you can see, with the budgets this year and next year and the year after, to try and, you know, we're on a pathway to get that resolved and get fully treated water out into the Thames Valley area. So yeah, so that's our kind of answer to that query.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is the sub-regional aquatic facilities. Yeah, you're going to comment on that briefly.
So there is a spot on this one, and that is that we are having our public engagement now from the 25th of October through to November. The public engagement will be done via the long-term plan, the draft long-term plan process early next year. Another update on the sculptures. You will have seen maybe that there's a fence now and concrete pad that has been laid. And so that project is moving along.
Where's that, please?
In terms of the shoreline management plan, the next meeting with the Moana Tairi residents is on the 30th of October. And that's at 100 Kirkwood Street, 515. And in regard to the Thames Visitor Protection Initiatives, we're having a briefing with the board shortly. That concludes my update.
Thank you. Shoreline management plan, always a big one. Anybody got any questions regarding that? Then recovery business attractive list, who's looking after that?
These two.
Area manager, oh, we're gonna hear about that shortly, under Mr. Courtney. Cover on a very proposed trail. Done that. So.
Cover Marine.
Okay, we'll go to attachment B, which is a project summary report, Coburg Marine Precinct. Okay. Has anybody got any questions regarding that?
So, so this report says of August,
2023, that's now it's started.
start of August, end of August. It's just, no, I mean, I do struggle a little bit with these because it's still talking about the barge not having been done and, yeah, I think anyone who drives out there can see that they're actually quite a way through that, through the work on that barge. So is there anything you can update us with?
Yep, so through the chair, that's a good point. And as members will recall previous discussions, it is a challenge with the reporting dates and therefore these reports coming through and feeling quite out of date. But that's just the nature of the deadlines and everything closing off and how the finances and updates come through. So you're right, Councillor Rodley, the barge is on site, has been on site for a few weeks now. Piling is going very well. Those piles that they're installing, which are for the wharf and pontoon facility, are coming up to the strength they need to come up to, well, which is good. So they've been fairly consistent, because that's always the challenge about whether you're going to get a consistent across all the piles, whether they're going to come up to that to the standard they need to come up to. But so far, so good. So that's going well. The other thing that I should note is that the Thames Community Board funding. So there's more up-to-date figures than this. Obviously, this was to the end of August. So obviously, we're further on than that now by a factor of probably 6 weeks. So yes, so we have expended more money of that budget. So whereas at that stage we had a remainder of 405, that is of the Thames Community Board funding, that is down to $188,000 as at now. So the other thing that I should mention there is that I have met with our corporate services manager, and we are investigating and doing some work around the how that money can get effectively paid back from the fees, the user fees that we'll attract once the facility is operational. So obviously that was a loan that the Thames Community Board wanted to put in there to make sure the project could move ahead. We do have funding as well from the Regional Council that we haven't accessed yet, but we'll do if required. So we'll come back with an update to the board at some stage around what that will look like moving forwards around the repayment of that funding from the user fees, which is the intention.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Henson. There's just one thing I would like to ask you about the Coburg Marine Precinct, and I'll prefix my remarks by saying, shut me down quickly if you don't think it's appropriate. I'd ask you in this manner, was there a structural or construction change made to the boat launching ramp, fisherman's boat launching ramp that you're aware of?
So if you're talking about the commercial slipway, yes, there have been some. Oh,
the other ramp.
The recreational?
Recreational, that's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any changes being made to the recreational boat ramp. No, no, I think that's pretty much stayed as it is, which is it's been talked about as an all tide access ramp. It's effective. It's not 100% all tide. So obviously with quite a wide tide range, there will be times when I think you only get to kind of 1 hour either side of high tide, which is probably better than what you've got at the moment. So it's definitely an improvement, and it's obviously a much better facility being a concrete recreational boat ramp. But I'm not aware of any kind of changes being made at this stage through the project on that one.
So the recreational ramp that's there is as designed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. Sorry, Bridget, do you mean 1 hour each side of low tide?
Low tide. Did I say hi? Sorry, I meant low. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I say that would be a pretty poor service?
It would be. Yeah.
Well, what's a day it would be?
Yeah.
All right. So anybody else have any more questions with regards to that? Or any other matter? The CAPEX report, your one and only chance. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hinton, for your time.
No problem.
And I just want to say while we're all on here there that with regards to the COPU ramp, that I thought that the presentation, that the video, the audio video done by Councillor Rebel was very good. Well done. And I think that the comms team probably should look to the laurels a bit or beware of somebody wanting to take their job.
Thank you, Chair. It would mean a lot more if you also sent me some money.
Oh, no problem. If you move the motion. Okay. The Thames Community Board received the Thames Community Board CAPEX Work Program 2023-24 and other information update report dated the 28th of September 2023. Do I have a mover for that, please? Thank you, Councillor Rebel. Do we have a seconder, please? Member Rakwa. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, declare carried. Action schedule. Right, attachment A. Was this supposed to be put in the It's a second. Very good. Action schedule. Anybody got any comments? Working way down the page.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
The work program, the second item down, work program about the government structure for the Thames and surround spatial plan. Have we, I'm assuming it says there, staff will provide an update to the board and to council once there's a recommended option, so I presume there isn't one yet.
No, we haven't had any further updates since this was submitted.
Right.
But they are definitely working on it. They're trying to confirm representation from different stakeholders.
My big question is, probably should ask this to Mr. Hanson, is the repairs to the flag track system have dragged on now for some 4 or 5 months at least since we first notified council that not corrupt if the body was here. So who can answer that? Or do I have to put it?
Bruce is still online.
Is Bruce still online? You there, Mr. Hinson?
Yes, yes,
yeah.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Did you hear the question? The flag tracks.
So through the chair, I did hear the question. I don't actually have an update off the top of my head, but I know that the team did have some dates about when they were all going to be resolved. So I'll just have to go back into my emails and see if I can find that. I'm happy to provide that update back to the board about when that'll all be resolved, those systems, flag track systems.
That would be fantastic because we have more flags to go up for both for the 150 year celebration, but more importantly on the 11th of November we have the Armistice Day flags to
Yes.
go up.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have that without their poppy flags. It would be lovely to have that sorted out. So it looks like we're up with the game.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you very much. And I wish to thank you publicly for, and you and Mr. Varley for getting those little posts in, ready in anticipation of putting up the city K signs in the town. That is a pretty good achievement. Well done.
Thank you.
So anybody else have any questions at this point?
I have one more question about the fourth from the bottom. Fourth from the top. Huh.
Yeah.
Staff reporting back on timelines for the district signage. I have been in contact with one of my colleagues in the Harrogate District Council to try to get some information from them about when they put their ones up. Because there seems to be some potential synergy for our ones to go on the back of theirs. And so I'm just quietly pursuing that in the background.
The one I'll ask area manager, the one regarding taxis. So staff advisor put investigation underway to ensure the stakeholders consult prior to agreed solution. Have you been in touch with the taxi proprietor?
So the road manager is investigating this. The comment came from the Women's Refuge, and so my understanding is that the taxi stand is used by the taxi operator and the Women's Refuge. And so we're just looking, and the road manager is looking into how long that space is and whether or not there might be an opportunity for both to be able to use that space.
Yeah, I'm surprised both of you that space when it's the other line.
Yes, yes.
It's not designated.
Yeah, I mean, he once got an update, he'll provide that to us.
And discussing with the taxi provider, he definitely wants his, to stay there. It's one of his best pickup points, apparently. Couldn't comment anything else other than that. Okay. So, the Thames Community Board received the action schedule report dated 28th of September 2023. Do we have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Board Member Mackenzie. Do we have a seconder, please? Board Member Johnson. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, declare carried. 4.2, the most important report on right. I think the report is being read.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one correction in my spelling, and that is right down in the last line. A secure and well maintained off-leaf area. Now, it's minor. It's minor. I think we should let it go through. That's what it's minor. Okay, somebody moves that the chair's report be received, please.
You should.
I'll move it. But I feel better if somebody else moves it. Okay, I'll move it. If nobody else wants to move it, I will move it. The chair's report be received.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Roddy. Did I mention your name in there, did I? All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, take care.
Can I,
Paul,
can I just, no, we voted and that's all good. But just under the theme of community engagement, I think I was just a bit disappointed to hear that the Karonga River Trail people felt neglected and at a time when they feel that they shouldn't be neglected. They feel that they have a valuable contribution. I think it would be good if we could just be really aware of these community groups that we need to involve in various things that we're doing.
oh, right, I've got you now. I was looking there, I couldn't see what I'd written it over. I understand now, I'm with you. Just as a matter of that, the community engagement, it's very hard for me to sit down and prophesize just who's been where and what. And if you were so gracious as to drop me a short email and say, I've been here and there. Well, I see mostly Martin Rodney around the traps. So I'm sure other people do a lot of work around the community. We just would like to know, not for me, but for the members of public out there who can see that the community board is active within its community. You are, after all, elected members, and you do have a responsibility to carry out that function of elected members.
So how long before the meeting? So 2 weeks before the meeting would be appropriate?
It's a horrendous lead up time before the meeting, but
Yeah.
ask the governance manager to tell you.
Do you want it 2 weeks before the meeting?
I'll send out some report, like some deadlines that you guys can contribute to.
That would be handy, thank you.
As a mere fact, I've got to write it tomorrow. There's no. There's no miracle.
Send you an email when I get home.
Right. Councillor Rodney, did you want to say something?
I don't know that our government staff just prodded our chairs here.
It quite often has to. These are the ones you see, the kicks underneath the table, you don't. Okay,
Being ended,
declare the, what's the time, please?
1:35.
You ready? Declare the meeting closed at 1:35.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to have a presentation by 5-minute break. Roseanne would like a 5-minute break, so anybody else want to go